Buenas tardes, le habla Nelson Soler desde la Cámara de Comercio Latina, de parte también de la Red Empresarial Latina, con nuestro programa Más Fuertes. Hello, this is Nelson Soler of the Latino Chamber of Commerce and the Latino Entrepreneurial Network with our program Más Fuertes of October 1st, 2020. As a reminder, our program today will be in English. It's called Strategies for Cash Flow Management. Is presented in partnership with the U.S. Bank and is possible thanks to the generosity of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation. If you're interested in listening to the program in Espanol, we did that program last Tuesday. Your moderator will be Nelson Soler, and the president of the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Southeast Wisconsin, and also a founder of the Latino Entrepreneur Network. And I'm also a business owner myself. The mission of the chamber is to foster the economic development of Wisconsin by advocating, strengthening, and promoting the growth and development of Latino and other minority and emerging enterprises, with the goal of providing increased access to capital, business opportunities, job creation, and capacity building programs. The mission of the Entrepreneurial Network is to promote entrepreneurial awareness and education through bilingual coaching, professional development, and networking. As indicated, this Más Fuertes program is an initiative of the Chamber that started with the pandemic back in May, in which we're assisting businesses through the relief and recovery stages. On the relief stage, we provided microloans for businesses. We have attended today 617 calls for technical assistance. And as part of that technical assistance request, we're putting these seminars together for you. So today is the cash flow management series. Next week, we'll be talking about the basics of commercial lending, how lending has changed with COVID. And finally, at the end of the month, we'll be talking about financing a commercial real estate transaction. You're interested in seeing or listening to the sessions or seeing them in English, it will be every Thursday, and every Tuesday will be in Spanish. If you need more information on any of these topics, the Más Fuertes program or our technical assistance initiative, please check out our website, the Latino Chamber SEW.org or the Latino Entrepreneurial Network.org. Also on the topic today, we are lucky to have U.S. Bank and an expert in cash flow management solutions. And he will share some information on that. You can reach us as a chamber at 414-888-2270. Chamber hours are from 2 in the afternoon till 8 p.m. So you're calling us. Again, the chamber is open at 414-888-2270 from 2 p.m. till 8 p.m. So now, without any further ado, I will leave our speaker to introduce himself, so you can briefly introduce yourself, and then we can start with the presentation whenever you're ready, Manuel.
Sounds good. Good afternoon, everybody. As Nelson mentioned, my name is Manuel Vallejo. I am a business banker at U.S. Bank. Been with the company for 11 years, and I specialize in working with business clients, coming up with different ways to expedite cash flow, whether it's payments received or payments being made. We look at things, as Nelson mentioned, commercial real estate, really any business need. Today, we're talking specifically about different strategies to help with your cash flow cycle, ensure that you have cash on hand to invest into your company when the opportunities present themselves, and what tools are going to be best for that. We'll go ahead and get started. If you want to pull up that slide for us, Nelson. So as I mentioned, today we're going to be discussing cash flow strategies in the light of using ACH and other bank tools to accelerate your programs. So just a quick explanation, the cash flow cycle is essentially the time that money comes or goes out of the business to the time the money comes back into the business. So you purchase inventory, you make your product, you sell your product, and you collect payment. That's the cash flow cycle. If you want to go to the next slide for me, please, Nelson. So adapting to a new landscape for payments is going to be vital for businesses nowadays, and really reviewing their current cash flow cycle and how they're operating through that. With COVID, we all know that a lot has changed. Um, and one of the things you want to ensure is that you're open and visible to all your customers in all payment environments. And what we mean by that is you don't want to uh, find yourself in a position where your clients, maybe are a little uncomfortable coming into the business due to COVID, and they're not aware, or you don't have the option to order online. So if they're not comfortable coming in, they just aren't going to, and therefore there's an opportunity missed to generate some revenue for your business. So things you want to review and consider if you aren't doing so already are payment options for curbside pickup, online ordering and delivery. You want to ensure your customers have a safe way to pay with contactless payments. Accept payments online by phone, mobile, invoice, or mail. And then if you don't currently have any type of online stores, I use restaurant as an example, but there's numerous other retail um, businesses that, again, perhaps weren't doing online prior to COVID. You can work with your bank. U.S. Bank specifically partners with 3D Cart. If you don't bank with U.S. Bank, your institution will most likely have some sort of relationship with another that will help you build out that online store so that you can start accepting payments again. And again, the reason that's so important is adding different ways to generate revenue, and that brings that money into the business part of your cash flow cycle. Next slide. The other big thing to consider, in addition to an unforeseen pandemic, is just simply the change in number of cash payments. This chart here is showing the number of transactions in billions. So if you take a look, we can see from 2012 to 2018, credit card transactions has gone up from 26.8 billion to 44.7. So roughly a $16 billion not dollar, but billion transaction increase over a 6-year span. You take a look at debit card, ACH, same thing. We see significant increases, whereas if you look at checks, we see a decrease in the utilization of paper checks. And again, the reason being is to expedite the payments received, and then again, to control more so the payments going out. If you want to hit the next slide for me, please, Nelson. All right, options for payment acceleration. So there's a number of different ways you can have a little more control over your payments. Again, money going out, money coming in. Those options are automated clearinghouse, otherwise known as ACH, wires, Zelle, real-time payments, mobile check deposit or deposit express, credit card, or merchant services. Now, I will say that some of these product names are a little bit more specific to U.S. Bank, but once again, if you don't bank with U.S. Bank, your bank will offer something similar. So, for example, the Zelle, that's the company that we work with, but other institutions may work with Venmo, or there's Cash App. So there's other options. So these strategies will still be something that can assist you, even if you aren't exactly banking with where I'm working. All right, if you want to hit next for me. So the first thing we want to touch on is ACH. Now, again, what ACH essentially equates to are, if you've ever received a direct deposit from your employer, or if you have your monthly insurance payments being automatically debited from an account. Those are transactions that are processed through the automated clearinghouse. Sorry, my screen locked up on me here. Give me 1 second while I get myself signed back in. Sorry about that. Okay. The benefit of ACH as far as a cash flow strategy is it allows you to have more predictable time frames for your payments. Not only that, but it lowers the cost and fraud opportunity versus paper checks. It's environmentally friendly, obviously, without having to write checks, use envelopes, get postage. We're saving lots of paper there. Remittance delivery with payment, so you receive notification and receipt of transactions delivered. You get a predictable settlement. Single point solution, simply meaning you have the control to do this online yourself versus needing to run to the bank or something like that, which in turn saves time and money. And then international service as well. So it's a way to pay international vendors and suppliers should that be a need for you and your business. You want to go next for me, please, Nelson? All right, wires online. Security and speed go hand in hand. So again, the focus of today's call is, or presentation is, how can we control that cash flow cycle, especially with COVID? Wire transfers is a terrific way to help you hold on to your cash until you simply need to make the payment. Wire transfers generally arrive within a few hours to the recipient. So very similar to ACH in that way, like with the direct deposit, where you are sending money electronically. Wires tend to be a little bit more expensive than ACH, but again, it's a faster delivery. And then also with some of these solutions, your bank may have certain stipulations that must be required. So for example, ACH, a lot of institutions do like to see that you have typically around 2 years time in business. Whereas wires, we're not looking at that. The money's pulled directly from your account and mailed to the recipient. And again, they receive it typically within a few hours. Wires also give you the ability to make payments to your vendors and suppliers, not only domestically, but internationally as well. You have the ability to send wires in US dollars and foreign currency and receive back detailed reporting on all the transactions that have been done. So once again, when considering what can be done in today's environment to help you retain that cash, so that you have the ability to invest in your company whenever the opportunity presents, wires is a terrific way to allow you to not have to mail a check out ahead of time because you have to cover that mail time. Then the vendor, supplier potentially receives it a day or two early, deposits it, and the money's pulled out a day or two ahead of time, either one, when the funds haven't been received from your clients and the payment is returned, or the funds are there, but you had another intention for it and now the money's gone. Wires allow you to send that out same day and ensure that your vendor slash supplier are receiving funds. All right, next slide, Nelson. Zelle. So as I mentioned earlier, the name and the partner is specifically correlated to US Bank. It's somebody that we have an association with. But once more, if you don't bank with US Bank, your bank will offer something similar, such as Venmo. Now, the usage of Zelle to benefiting your cash flow cycle is that it again allows you to control when you send money out and to whom you send it out to over a safe and secured network. You can send money to almost anyone with a bank account in the US. If you bank with US Bank, you download our app. If you do not, you download the Zelle app specifically. Now with Zelle, money travels directly between accounts with no stops in between. And as a US Bank customer, should you be one, you're protected by our online risk-free guarantee. Money you send with Zelle can be in your recipient's account in minutes, making Zelle an ideal way to share the cost of expenses between friends or send a gift of money. It's convenient. Find Zelle in the US Bank mobile app or online banking, or again, from your iPhone app store or your Google app store. All you need to send money is the recipient's email address or mobile phone number. And then sending money is easy. Simply pick a trusted recipient, enter an amount, and hit send. You can track your payment in online or mobile banking. Requesting money is just as easy. Now with Zelle, the one thing that I will mention is with these types of services, the financial institution will generally have some sort of limit established for you. It's not truly intended for large payments like the ACH or the wire transfer solution might be. This is going to be more of those $2,000, $3,000, potentially $5,000 payments. And again, it's a great way to get money there fast. It's sent over a secured network. So giving you that control about when money leaves your business versus having to send checks currently and again risk that float time not quite being what you maybe hoped that it would be. But again, straightforward, quick, easy way to give you the control of when money's coming in and out. You can also receive payments from the Zelle. So One of the examples that I like to use is for, let's say you're a tattoo artist. Again, people call in, want to book appointments, and unfortunately, sometimes they don't show. So what I've had some clients do is they'll request that their appointment send a deposit of some sort, whether it's $100, $200, and they'll receive that via Zelle. And then obviously the rest of the payment is upon completion of the work. So they'll go ahead, take the deposit, draw up the design. Client comes in, gets whatever work done that they're looking to do, and then you accept the final payment there. But again, a way to ensure that your customers are coming in, you're bringing money into the business in a timely manner as well. All right, we'll take a look at the next one. Real-time payments. Again, this one, the name and association are tied with US Bank, but your bank will offer something similar. Real-time payments is a third-party partner whom we work with. Works similar to ACH. The real big thing about real-time payments that would be terrific more so for, well, I shouldn't say more so, but especially for newer businesses or startups, is it doesn't typically have those same requirements an ACH will have. However, because this is a private vendor, not processing through the automated clearinghouse, the network isn't quite as large. So you may have vendors who can't necessarily accept real-time payments. But if you do have partners that this will work for, what it does again is the ability to give you control over when your payments are being made to vendors. And as we mentioned before, the benefit is when looking at your cash flow cycle, the key is always having the cash on hand for as long as possible and collecting payments as quickly as possible. So real-time payments, again, is another option to hold that money longer. It sends payments instantly to other businesses or individuals who bank with other financial institutions within the real-time payment network. Right now, there's 42 banks in the network, and we're expecting at least 100 by the year end. Other great advantage here is since it is not processed through automated clearinghouse, you can send money via real-time payments 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. There aren't federal holidays that'll prevent you from sending the payment. So again, if you're like a seasonal business who's operating during Christmas, things like that, you have the ability to, again, make those payments on your schedule, not necessarily sending payments out, hoping to keep the money as long as you can, but have to honor the commitment to pay by a certain date as well.
Manuel, we have two questions. Okay.
Yes.
First question is, you said that this system doesn't have the stringent requirements as ACH. Can you speak a little bit more about that? What are the requirements for ACH that RTP doesn't have, for instance?
Yep, absolutely. So the ACH transactions or solution is typically going to be looking for 2 years time in business, and it is considered oftentimes a credit product, meaning that there's a credit check that has to be done. The biggest difference there, or the reason I should say for that, is we take the information is entered into the ACH database to send out typically the next day. Now, we will send that money out and honor that commitment. However, when that money is sent out, it isn't pulled out of your account immediately. And what that in turn does is put the bank at risk that a business may initiate an ACH and then pull all the cash out. And once that ACH is approved, we have to honor that. So those are the big things as far as requirements for ACH. With real-time payments, it's pulling the money immediately from your account. So we're guaranteed to receive it. And as a result, we're not necessarily looking for that 2 years time in business and fantastic credit scores.
Okay. Thank you. The other question was, where can someone find the list of the 42 banks that are in the network? Is there a website or a place they can check that out?
You know what? That's a great question, Nelson. I don't have that information right in front of me. If I don't know if that viewer wants to, at the end of the slide, I have my contact information. They can reach out to me directly, and I'd be happy to get that information for them.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions on this piece of it?
Not at this time.
All right, and we can move to the next slide, please. All right, Deposit Express benefits your business. So another big one here is on-site deposits. That's essentially what the Deposit Express is sharing with you. It gives you the ability to access funds faster. You can electronically scan and deposit check payments directly to your account as soon as they are received. It increases your efficiency by reducing deposit preparation time, and you also receive faster notification of return items that you've deposited. You save time and reduce cost. You're saving travel time to the bank or office to deposit the checks, and you're reducing your transportation costs and things and gas and just simply your time, how you value your time. And additionally, it maintains security and oversight of your deposits. You make deposits through a secure and trusted channel. It also avoids security issues with transporting paper checks. Again, money in, money out. How can we bring these things about quicker or delay it when it's to your benefit? Deposit Express, you receive check payments instead of having to hold on to the check, right? You receive one check, you don't want to go to the bank for one check. You're going to hold on to it so you have a few more. You may sit on that check 2, 3, 4, 5 days before you even go to the bank and deposit it. And once that check's been deposited, depending on your institution and the dollar amount of the check, there could be anywhere from a 1 to a 5 day business day hold on the account, delaying the availability of those funds for you again to utilize them to invest in your business. With Deposit Express, again, as soon as you receive that check, you're able to deposit the funds. Should there be any type of hold time, you're beginning that same day versus, again, waiting a week just to get there and start it. As far as the increase in efficiency, I think that ties into accessing the funds faster. You're not sitting on that check. You're not holding on to it. You're not sending your store manager out to the bank, removing them from managing the store. Again, saving time and reducing costs. When you're depositing those checks remotely, you don't have the expense of ordering deposit slips. You don't need to spend on transportation costs driving to the bank, or having one of your drivers, managers, shift managers, whomever it may be, have to stop at the bank. And then again, a huge thing here is the security and oversight of your deposits. By depositing those checks remotely, what you are doing is removing numerous steps out of the equation. And I always tell people, the less your account information is exposed, the less opportunity there is for fraud. So what that means is simply you don't have as many eyes on your routing and account number. So again, not only is it a great way to bring money into your business and make it available and accessible to yourself in a much more timely manner, it's also providing security and fraud prevention. Do you need mobile capability? Deposit Express Mobile allows you or your employees to make check deposits using a mobile device. So again, all the same benefits, just the ability to do it from your phone and on the go. Questions on that? Nope. Okay. Merchant processing. So again, another terrific strategy that you really want to look at right now during these COVID times is how are you accepting payments? Merchant processing is one of the more popular, if not the most popular form of payment acceptance in today's world. So if it's either something you aren't currently doing, or if it's just simply something you haven't reviewed in quite some time, I would encourage you to stop and speak with your business banker at your financial institution. Merchant processing is going to provide you same day credit, next day funds, depending on your institution, some as quick as same day availability. It's real time check approval, same day settlement, risk service options. You have consolidated banking relationships, reduced banking fees, and less time on reconciliation. So again, by having the ability to accept debit, credit card, you will have your funds again typically within 1 to 3 business days, depending on the merchant processor you're working with. I will say that U.S. Bank tends to get that in same day, next day, but again, your institution may be a little different there. If you do currently have merchant processing, how are you accepting those payments? Where are you accepting those payments? So with the restaurant industry in particular during COVID, we have seen a large uptick in businesses creating online ordering capabilities that didn't have those prior to COVID. Again, it's giving you the additional opportunity to continue to service your customers in the way that they want to be serviced. And it also continues to give you the ability to earn the revenues that you were working towards or earning prior to COVID, with all the different limitations on the number of people who can come into the business, um, the number of people who may simply feel uncomfortable going in and sitting at a business. This gives you the ability to order online, take orders over the phone, um, accept payments curbside versus them having to come in. So merchant processing is one of the probably bigger ones that you want to take a look at and review how you're using this solution to benefit your business in today's current environment. We don't know how things will how long this pandemic will last, but as businesses continue working and some unfortunately struggling to make it, this is something that can definitely add a boost by lowering your cost and giving you a new opportunity to bring revenues in if you aren't currently accepting those phone or online applications.
Manuel, I just want to make a comment as I did in the other session, so we're consistent. The city of Milwaukee has a grant program that started today called Restart 2.0. And as part of that program, as they work with different organizations on feedback of things that people or businesses could potentially need the money for, they expand it and include this technology. So if somebody has to spend as a consequence of COVID and now they're in dire need of having an own equipment like merchant equipment or a tablet or something to be able to charge and interact with their clients, there is a possibility that if you qualify and meet the requirements of the grant that you can secure that. If anybody is interested in this specific grant, I'm going to be doing a live show later in the afternoon around 2 o'clock in which I will show how to apply, what is the grant for. So please stay tuned. And if you are not able to watch it, it's always videotape as this program is. Thank you for allowing me to make that comment.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that information. That's huge for our communities and our businesses. So thank you for sharing. We can go to the next slide. Business credit cards. While some people may say, well, how is this a strategy to assist in the cash flow cycle? The key is, well, two things. The first bullet point there, and then even more so the second. If you pay your vendors and suppliers on a credit card, you can pay it earlier if you don't have cash on hand, and you receive the discounts. Typically, well, oftentimes the vendors and suppliers will offer for early payment. Plus, you earn rewards. But even more importantly, is you can extend your cash flow up to 45 days. What we mean by that is, let's say you have a payment due on the first of the month. Now, you may have the ability to pay that cash, but by doing so, you'll be cashless now for 30 days till you receive payment from your customer. If you make that payment on your credit card, you're still honoring your commitment to your supplier and vendor, so they're happy. However, what that does is it allows you to retain the cash in your account those additional 30 days until you receive your payment from your client. Now you have the cash that you were already retaining plus a little bit more to make that payment on the credit card. So what it's essentially doing for you is extending that payment due date 45 days. I will say at no interest with an asterisk. Now the asterisk being is you have to pay the balance in full every month, or every billing cycle, I should say. So that's the key here when using credit cards to help manage and maintain that cash flow cycle is paying the balance in full. I don't know that I can stress that enough. Another benefit, depending on who you're doing business with, is there are no foreign transaction fees on many business credit cards. So again, if you do have international vendor who is looking to accept payment, this is a great way to get that payment made. Again, give yourself a little bit of float on the cash and not pay additional fees that you may be paying on a debit card or something along those lines. You get free additional employee cards. So let's just, for example, say you have a business that you have delivery truck drivers. You can assign a card to each individual, set limits, and then can utilize that for, gasoline purchases so that you're not constantly pulling out petty cash, taking the time away from the business to go fill up each truck yourself, whatever it may be. And again, the way that equates into the cash flow cycle is, as the business owner, manager, your time is valuable. How do you value your time? Any questions on this portion, Nelson?
No, there are no questions.
All right, we can move on to the next slide here. Actually, that's what I thought. The last one. So I just want to thank everybody for their time. As you see here, there's a slide with my contact information. I will say that currently we are working from home due to the COVID pandemic. So you can leave a message on my office number. That will, however, take a little bit more time to respond. So I would encourage anybody who has any questions, comments, concerns on what we discussed today to contact me either via my mobile number or at my email address, Manuel, Manuel Vallejo, V as in Victor, Allejo at usbank.com. I know we had the one question on the RealTime Payments network. So again, if that individual would be so kind as to reach out to me, I'd be more than happy to get that information for them and to them.
Thank you, Manuel, for being with us again on this Thursday and sacrificing your lunch to educate others. So to recap, this is part of our Más Fuertes program. Today we're talking about cash flow and how critical in these times is cash flow for a small business. As a small business owner, I can tell you, I'm taking advantage of every product that is out there that can benefit me because it's a really tough time to manage your cash. So today we discuss a series of products that will help you accelerate your cycle of cash in which you can collect payments from your clients faster. And we also talk a little bit about credit cards that had the opposite effect. It decelerate your cash because then you had time to pay them as long as you pay them, as Manuel advised you. So we encourage you to learn more about cash flow. Again, this will be in video. You can access it through our Latino Chamber page, to our Latino Entrepreneurial Network page, and through the Multicultural Entrepreneurial Institute page. Finally, I just want to share again as a reminder that the series will continue, and then we will have on October 6th, the topic in español, la base de préstamos comerciales, in English, basics of commercial lending, and on the 20th and the 22nd, we'll have financing and commercial real estate transaction. So I encourage you to continue taking advantage of this series that are brought to us. Thank you to the generosity of the Greater Milwaukee Foundation. I wish you a great afternoon. I thank Manuel again and US Bank for being our co-sponsors this week. And we look forward to hearing from you and your peers next week. So thank you again. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.